Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Star Stuff Podcast, where we love Star Wars. My name is David.
And my name is James. And yeah, here we talk about all things Star Wars. But before we get started, we have some amazing people to thank. So take it away, David.
Yes, our awesome top tier Patreon supporters out there, starting with Lee McCallion, Kevin Leininger, Deb McCaffrey, Zach Netzel, Maya Morris, Adam Haber, Front Row King, Cam from Indiana, Mariana Tia Arnold, Rest Jedi 27, and Alex Blundell. Thank you so much for your awesome love and support out there. Also, if you want to buy some lightsaber stuff or accessories, check out legionsabers.com. Use the code STUFF at checkout for 15% off. And if you go to SpaceCon, you actually might see the founder there with us. And he might have some interesting information and interesting things with him. So check all that stuff out. And I also want to give some shout outs to some other people as well. A lot of people that visited us at Rebel Scum Con and Space Con in the past. I want to give a shout out to Ken, who sat with us. He lives in Florida. Talked with me for quite a while when I was all by myself at the table, while Colin was conducting interviews and my brother was doing whatever my brother was doing. Probably walking the floor. The floor is pretty cool. I mean, it's always cool to see just nonstop Star Wars merch and costumes. And I imagine for someone that doesn't go to conventions a lot, it's very kind of process overload. It is for me when I go. And I'm just like always amazed that, wow, there's other people out there like me. But yeah, shout out to Anne, who stopped by our table many times at Rebel Scum Con. We had conversations. On the last podcast, I talked about people that would walk back and forth and they weren't quite sure to look at me again or look the other way or wave. It was so funny. I mean, it's cool to like wave again. I mean, I was in my element and I loved it. Also, Becky from SpaceCon last year. Shout out to them. They listen to the podcast when they drive to work. Also, Maya. I spoke with her dad. Well, not spoke with. I messaged back and forth with her dad. She's grown up. She's growing up, man. She
now.
She is older. I don't know the exact age, but let's just say that her dad told me that she is passing on the knowledge and wisdom and fandom of Star Wars to younglings.
Oh, wow.
So I believe he basically said in so many words, she's like a camp counselor type of person. So yeah, and she integrates Star Wars into her camp counseling. Good. So I think that's what it was that was typed. I'm trying to remember, but I just was like, wow, yeah, I had the same reaction as you did, James. I mean, kids grow up really fast. I have two of my own. They're adults. It's wild. I don't know. But yeah, just thank you to all the listeners out there that make our podcast possible. We see the numbers, we see the love, and just thanks.
We got Joseph Floyd in the house on YouTube. Hello, Joseph. Thank you for joining us. Finally finished watching The Skeleton Crew. What did y'all think about it? And will it have any connection to any future projects? Even though we were not going to talk about Skeleton Crew today, I think we're going to talk about it now. Skeleton Crew, I loved Skeleton Crew. It was a nice change of pace for a typical Star Wars story. You know, the whole Amblin 1980s style of a Star Wars project, Star Wars story. And will it have any connection? Yes, it's going to have. I think, I mean, now I'm wondering, but I think we're going to be having some connections with the Mandoverse because it's around that time. There's a lot of characters, a few character crossovers. Yeah, we should see them or hear about them in the future tied to the Mandoverse and Ahsoka somehow. That's what I'm thinking. What do you got, David?
When you cast a Jude Law, you figure you're going to write into the contract, we may want to bring you back for something else.
Yeah.
There's that aspect to it. The other aspect is the whole lightsaber that was found. There's many stories and connective possibilities that you can go with that lightsaber. Vane, we know the I guess gangster Vane.
Pirate? I don't know.
Yeah, the pirate. Yeah, lost the word there. Marty Batulis is the actor, a very cool guy. I met him at Rebel Scum Con. He's one of the celebrities I intercepted and talked to, and very cool man. I thought he was, maybe from Europe somewhere, but I think he's American.
Oh,
He just kind of has that like European look to him, I guess, in my eyes. But he's a very cool dude. Talk to him, kind of in the wild, and he might be on our podcast. And he did talk to Colin about possible podcasting opportunities. So Vane, the pirate he played, connects back to the Book of Boba Fett, and I think the Mandalorian too, right?
yeah.
By proxy, because Mando was in, but
Mhm.
I don't know. But yeah, he is. I believe he's a Nikto alien, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that connection, of course. It seems like the kids in Skeleton Crew are all getting. Seems like they're getting more work in different things, and they're continuing on. I would really like to see them as like tweens and then adults and see what becomes of their characters. I think that would be a really cool thing. And they're doing the convention circuit a lot, so they're really into it. I hope that we get more from that. And of course, John Watts was a showrunner. He directed, I believe, the first and last episode. He directed the Spider-Man Homecoming trilogy. So he's got chops definitely, and I think he does have pull. As far as like the ratings go for Skeleton Crew, I don't think they were great. I don't think they were bad. I think they were kind of in between. I think a lot of the general public didn't really know what to make of it.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes there's confusion with the general public. Like, people will watch whole series and are like, when does this take place? A lot of people, when they saw Luke show up at the end of Mando season 2, they're like, how is this even possible? He died.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that really kind of hurt me to think that people thought that they were just like doing whatever and weren't like obeying like basic like laws of biology and timeline rules. And
yeah, it was ridiculous because I had people ask me how is it possible that Luke Skywalker is alive, and I was like, well, because it takes place during this time, and they were so confused. And I said, you mean you watched 2 whole seasons of this series and didn't realize where we were the entire time? That was really sad to hear. But yeah, I have a feeling with Skeleton Crew, these kids are gonna pop up in a future project. I don't know about a season 2 of Skeleton Crew, but I think in projects leading up to the whole Filoni Favreau, climax of the show, or the movies, I think we're gonna see them there somehow. But I don't know about a season 2. Oh, Mariana's in the house. Hello. How are you tonight? Thank you for joining us. And Craig wants to jump in.
Yeah, I think he's jumping in. So,
oh, cool.
So, so Mariana, she's an awesome Patreon member, and she helped us so much with Japan.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, the planning, she did like all the planning, and she was like, "Okay, guys, this is what you need to do." She's like, she didn't say this, but I mean, she pretty much did all the legwork, and I was like, "All right, that's awesome. It's great to have a podcast and to have someone that messages us and tells us what to do." And it was great. It worked out pretty seamlessly. I personally didn't get to hang out with her that much. I would have loved to. I just kind of met her at the end. Did you hang out with her?
I did. I got to sit in a few panels with her and her husband.
Yeah, I was in line in the celebration store that took all day, and I barely got in because they cut the line off, and that was like chaos.
Gotcha.
But
there she goes, LA Comic-Con.
So yeah, LA Comic-Con is coming up, guys. So if you want to meet the Star Wars Stuff podcast, especially James, go to LA Comic-Con. And I might be there too. I'm not saying I'm going for sure. But yeah, James will be there. Mariana will be there because they are located very close by. And Haley also.
Yes.
Haley says she's going for sure. So I guess I'm the only person here that's not committed.
Yes, which is very strange. You should.
I don't want to
make
get
the
anyone's
trip.
hopes up, guys. I don't want to let anyone down.
Mm.
And yeah, she says see you there. Yeah, that'd be awesome because you'll see us hanging out together. We really want to hang out together and do the Star Wars thing. And we will scout out the LA Convention Center because that's where Celebration 2027 is going to take place. And that's another reason why I want to go. I don't want to be totally lost like I was at the Japanese. What was it called, James?
I don't remember what the convention center was called. I just remember we got there and we were like, "Where do we go? Like,
James, you seem like you kind of knew where to go. I was just following you.
Oh no, I just made sure I was like, all right, if the crowd's going here, I need to go there. Yeah, see, even you're breaking up the band. You have to go, David. You have to be there. I think okay, so we
Yeah,
of course she knew what it was. Yes. I think she looked that up. Yeah, the McCurry Messy was what it was called. Should we let him into the
Yeah, we have a special guest, ladies and gentlemen, appearing for the very first time on the Star Wars Stuff podcast.
Hello.
Hello there.
I am disgusted by your taste in Star Wars movies.
If you're watching us on YouTube, or if you're not watching us on YouTube, Darth Vader is now here and judging me by my taste in Star Wars movies. So
it's sickening.
Is that a one piece or is that two pieces together? What is how you doing that?
I'm relaxing, James. It's nighttime. You think I wear my cape all day, every day?
You got a point there. But while you're here,
hey, Vader's a fan of Transformers.
I put on a nice t-shirt. I relax. I put on some HoloNet. And then I come on and I see you talking about Last Jedi.
Hey,
it's worse than what happened to me on the lava bank.
Can I ask you a question, Darth Vader? Why do you have Luke Skywalker's like head on the shelf behind you?
Why do you have your son's head on the shelf?
Why do you have your son's head on a shelf behind you?
Well, you know, if you've ever seen Empire Strikes Back,
I have.
The greatest movie of all time.
I agree.
You'll see that when he cuts off my head, his head is in there.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes when I'm feeling a little down, I put his head in this helmet and I just think, boy, my son, what he could have been.
That makes a lot of sense. That does make a lot of sense. How did you feel about George Lucas maybe wanting Luke Skywalker to put on Darth Vader's helmet at the end of Return of the Jedi?
Oh, that would have been perfect. A lot better than getting electrocuted by that old grump.
Beautiful. Well, Craig, it is really nice for you to join us today. And I'm really glad you're here.
Craig? Who's this Craig?
But back to I think you should just keep it on the whole time. Oh my gosh, there he is. You're right. That was crazy. It is you. How are you doing this evening, Craig?
Obviously, something seriously wrong with me, but
okay, I'm just joking. What was your opinion about Skeleton Crew? We had one of our listeners ask us about Skeleton Crew. I just want to know what you thought about
Skeleton Crew. It was pretty good. It was pretty entertaining. I would give it like maybe a 7.5 out of 10 overall as a series. I enjoyed it. Could have been a little bit more, I don't know, entertaining or something, but I think the thing is like we kept thinking, oh, is it going to be Hondo that shows up, or is this thing going to happen, or who's going to help rescue these kids? Like, who's going to come save the day? So I think the struggle was to realize that it wasn't going to include the rest of the universe, because I think we're always kind of expecting someone else in the universe to come in, right?
Mhm.
Like Luke in Mandalorian, so it was frustrating because in a sense, because it was like, how are these kids going to defeat all these pirates? And I mean, the X-Wings did come in at the very end there, but I don't know. I thought it was overall pretty solid. I would like to see a season 2.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
don't
they
think
haven't
we're
even.
going to get one.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. But they haven't said anything about a season 2, and it feels like it's not going to happen. It feels like these kids are going to be moved to another project in the future. Um, but I think a lot of, and like what you said, Craig, a lot of our like predictions kind of ruin things because we have all these expectations. Like, oh, Hondo's definitely got to show up. Oh, I think
I mean,
during
Colin said that Colin's still saying it. He's still thinks Honda's showing up, and
Hondo's supposed to, yeah, if he doesn't show up, it's crazy. Which I'm not gonna lie though, out of all the projects Hondo could have showed up in, Skeleton Crew is one of those that I was like, okay, it's
it would have
weird.
made. Yeah, I thought it would have made a lot of sense too. I
Yeah,
agree.
but for me with Skeleton Crew, I think maybe y'all felt the same way. As it was ending, it felt like it was just really getting started, and it was like, oh, this is gonna get really good now. The New Republic is here, and then
Yeah.
it cut to black, and it was like, oh my gosh, man! But I enjoyed it. It was a nice change of pace for Star Wars, and I think it was interesting, and I think it was a solid attempt to do a different genre within Star Wars, and yeah, we'll see
Yeah,
what
it
happens.
it was. I have no complaints about it. I mean, it's a little confusing though, because it's like with that we didn't really get anything else involved, but then you see like Andor doesn't really get. Vader doesn't make an appearance. The Emperor doesn't make an appearance, but then Luke makes an appearance, and Ahsoka makes an appearance in Mandalorian, and now with Ahsoka, it seems like they're going to have these timelines connecting, and I'm fine with it, but it's like sometimes we get it, sometimes we don't, and it's like, what's happening? I mean, it sounds like Jude Law is definitely coming back for something, right? I remember seeing some comments.
I mean, he kind of. I mean, I'm pretty sure it was in the contract when he, like David was saying, when he came in, they were probably like, "You're gonna, or we may call you back for a couple of seasons or even a movie," And
Yeah,
so, yeah. But I do think Mandalorian spoiled all of us though with that season 2 finale with Luke coming in, because it kind of set the bar high for every project after that to include that.
But don't you
huge
guys
con-
think
what you
that
got?
Mando season 2 could have been can be duplicated with everything?
I
yes,
agree.
I mean,
Yes.
like
yeah,
you brought up Hondo. Hondo, you bring in Hondo. You don't not use him in the pirate series.
I
He
agree.
is a
He
pirate.
should have been
It's
there.
a
He's
pirate.
featured at Galaxy's Edge. Why did you not cast Jim Cummings to do the voice, do the Vader treatment, bring in a suit actor? I mean, they did it with Nick Nolte and Misty Rosas for Quill and
Yeah.
Mando season 1.
It
I mean,
makes no sense.
why? I mean, it feels like somebody should have stepped in. There wasn't like the Sam Witwer situation where he was on the set of Solo and tell him, "Hey, you're using the wrong lightsaber, guys. This
The
lightsaber
fact-
doesn't exist in this time period."
The fact that they were like, "Oh, this is the light," like nobody said anything until that moment. And I was gonna say, I think Sam Witwer needs to be on every series going forward, because he knows all about it. So it feels like he would be able to say, "Hey, what would be really cool is if you do this instead." But here's my argument to that: Andor didn't really rely on any of that. Andor relied on the story, and it worked, and it destroyed. You know what I mean? So it's like, how did they? What magic did Tony Gilroy and crew have?
Even with Andor, we're like, is Clea Leia? Then
Oh, I remember
looked
those
like her,
talks. Yeah, people were
right?
like, "It's her. It's Leia." It's like, no, it's not.
I
But
mean, she looked like her. She looked close enough.
Yeah.
And
And the name.
Leia, like, I mean, you could see why people would be like,
But
And that's the brilliant thing that Jon Favreau did in The Mandalorian the first 2 seasons, that he had those nods, but it wasn't like the Ponda Baba Evazan Rogue One thing. It was like they
yeah,
had
that
the
one
pulse
was
rifle.
the worst.
Yeah, they had the rifle from the cartoon, from the holiday special that was introduced by Boba Fett riding the pink dinosaur. They had the ice cream maker. And, I mean, he hit all the right moves and notes for that series, and they have to kind of continue that in a way, because if you don't have that stuff in there, it feels less like Star Wars and more like someone's just trying to do a series and trying to maybe do it for another reason outside of making a great Star Wars show in a way.
you know,
And it's a lot of not seeing the forest for the trees, you know. I mean, I know directors and showrunners will have the tunnel vision, but you gotta kind of know some of these things that you need to kind of like sprinkle in here and there, and that's what Favreau did so great with seasons 1 and 2, definitely.
I mean, we got Boba Fett, we got Ahsoka, we got Bo-Katan, we got Luke. Who else? Who am I forgetting? Anyone else?
That was pretty much the big ones. I mean, Ahsoka, that was
Huge.
massive.
Right off the bat in that Jedi episode, you see her fighting with those white blades, and it's like, oh my god.
I remember when Bo-Katan. Well, first off, yeah, we get Bo-Katan, which we're gonna be talking about here in a second.
Right.
And then when she drops the line, there you'll find the Jedi Ahsoka Tano. I remember just like pausing, going, "There is no way this is happening right now. Like this seems like a dream." And then it happened, and it was beautiful. And then the next couple of episodes later, Slave One flies in. Sorry, Boba Fett's starship flies in, and then you get that cut of him standing up. What was that?
I said you had to write the first time.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, Slave One lands, and then you have that moment when he stands up, and there is Boba Fett in his armor. And I remember again, I had to pause and say, this is insane that this is happening right now. Boba Fett is back, and it's interesting how some projects it works, and then some projects like Andor, where they didn't even really hint at all of that stuff, it also worked beautifully. I don't know. It just depends on who you have running the show and how they can tie it all together. But then again, Andor's story isn't really one of those stories. It's not one of those that we need to include. It's better knowing you don't see all the upper people because of what's going on underneath the surface. So I think Andor, Tony Gilroy, and crew figured that out pretty quickly, which is why I think that show was such a huge success and still talked about to this day. I mean, everyone is still going crazy over that show. So, did you like Andor, Craig?
I loved it.
Yeah,
I loved it. It was fantastic.
I've heard people, and I made this argument, which is it's the best Star Wars outside of like Empire Strikes Back. Like
People thought it was better.
Yeah, I've heard that too. Some people think it's better than Empire.
No, hold on. Don't make me get Darth Vader back on here.
Oh no, please don't. But no. I have told people, because some people are like, oh, I don't want to watch it because it's all the Disney. I was like, no. I was like, this is like legitimately a great show. Like,
yeah.
When it was over, when it was ending, I remember thinking this is on par for me. I know this is crazy, but I think of Sopranos and Breaking Bad as like the 2 greatest shows of all time, and The Wire is up there as well. I was like, Andor is pretty darn close to those shows. It was only 2 seasons, and it was just amazing.
I mean, what was it? Episode 8? That was like, was that with the massacre? Was it 8 or 7? I mean, it was just 8. It felt so incredibly tense watching it. It was like,
I was on the edge of my seat. My heart was pounding. I was like, I have never seen anything like this.
It was one of the, it may have been the most tense movie or TV episode I've ever seen, where it was just the whole tension and the escalation. You could just feel it rising the whole time. It was unbelievable.
And then you get the fight between Andor and Cyril. Like, just that, I was like, this is just the best. Like, this is incredible. And then you follow up with Mon Mothma's speech and Andor trying to get her out I mean, I'm like, this is just
Yeah.
this. I was like, this is great. And some people compared that episode 8 to the Battle of the Bastards in Game of Thrones. Some people said it was like on par with that. Some
Yeah.
people said it was like maybe it was. I don't know where it is, but some people were gonna say it was gonna rank as one of the best television episodes in like history and everything. So
I think so. I think
Yeah.
so. I thought it was incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Mariana on YouTube says Andor is why we need more non-Star Wars people creating Star Wars content. It's new perspectives, fresh writing. They aren't worried about fan service. And yeah, Tony Gilroy, just going from I don't like Star Wars to coming back and just knowing Star Wars and knowing how to use Star Wars in a story is just, it's amazing how he did that. So, and I'm driving around, in Hollywood, there's still billboards up because they're doing a big Emmy push for it. And you go on TikTok, you go on everywhere, everyone's mad that none of the actors or actresses were nominated for Andor. So, which I think is a shame. Because, anyways,
It was a phenomenal show.
It was a great show. What were we talking about again? Star Wars? No, I'm kidding. So Katee Sackhoff did an interview, or she was on a podcast, and she spoke about her acting and mainly about Bo-Katan. And I was actually kind of shocked by what she said. And I should have had the article up, but David, do you have the article ready to go, or like
Yeah,
kind of
so
summary?
So this is exactly what you said. This is off of AOL.com, shockingly, website here about this article. She said, I lost all of my confidence after Mandalorian, all of it. Sackhoff recalled, I've always played 2 steps removed from myself, in a sense. It always felt grounded in some part of my belly of who I was. Bo-Katan is nowhere near who I am as a human being. Her life, what she wants, I didn't understand her. As much as I understood her, I never felt her in my stomach. I never identified with her. I didn't know how to find her. She also said, I think I just lost that last quote. But essentially, I mean, she just, actually, I found it right here. She said, it broke me. It just broke me. Sackhoff said, I started doubting everything about myself. I'm not a strong auditioner on tape, and I was having to put myself on tape. I wasn't booking anything. And for 3 years, I basically didn't work, and it just destroyed my confidence. I thought she did a terrific job as Bo-Katan. I was at a point in that Mando season 3. I mean, she was basically carrying the show.
Mm-hmm.
Fans were saying, oh, The Mandalorian is in reference to Bo-Katan now. I thought she did a great job. There was nothing. I had zero criticism of how she portrayed that character in that season. I know there are criticisms for that season, but it wasn't
not her.
She was a highlight
performance at all. So it's shocking to hear that she lost her confidence because it wasn't coming across on screen.
Not at all to me.
Bo-Katan fan, as you can see behind me, if you're watching this on YouTube or Twitter. But yeah, she was great, man.
I like her as Bo-Katan.
Yeah,
I like her. I enjoy her character.
Yeah, she was the voice of animation.
I didn't like season 3 very much, but I like her.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I didn't care that much for season 3, but her being in there, I was like, she is awesome. She's great. And yeah, like David said, I didn't get any of that from her. I didn't get any, like, you know what I mean? Like, we could have been like, oh, she wasn't as strong as she could. I thought she was amazing. I thought she played the part really well. And it just makes me sad to know that she, while she was doing it, didn't feel confident in doing it and doing the process and like how she approaches each role. Because actors and actresses, they each have their own process to getting into characters, to studying these characters. And I can imagine, I mean, mind you, I'm not like the biggest actor, but to get a role that you don't understand, but everyone's like, oh, you're perfect for it. But you're like, but I don't get this. I don't understand what I'm supposed to be doing. Can probably get a little frustrating. But
I slipped right into that Darth Vader role.
You did.
You have to admit, I was really good.
Like, I didn't even know it was you for like, yeah.
humorous. I really I could feel him. You know, I had a perfect example of why I have my Luke Skywalker head up there.
That was pretty good. But it is shocking that she says she has to she's auditioning, which I guess is could be a bummer because some of these celebrities, they don't have to audition anymore. They get offered the role, you know what I mean? So I can understand how that is also a little frustrating as well, to get to a point where you're like, oh wait, I have to audition for this. I don't know. But I'm just excited to see her in the next project, because she's one of my favorite characters in the whole new Mandoverse, storyline. She's amazing, and I really hope she comes back and she's very happy with it. What do y'all think?
Yeah, I just don't kind of get it. I didn't see that. I wouldn't think she would ever be a person that would lose her confidence in any type of acting situation. She is one of those people. I've been very lucky to meet her several times in real life and be in line and able to see her interactions with people ahead of me in line, and they're all spectacular.
Yeah.
I can remember a situation where someone had a service dog and they were explaining their illness to her, and you could tell she was listening, and you could tell she was very empathetic and listened to her whole story. I don't really remember the story in detail or anything, but I could tell that she was making a connection with the fan, like very important. That fan's gonna remember it for the rest of her life, probably.
Mhm.
And she came around and she kind of I'm not quite sure if I think she hugged the fan, and then she asked if she could pet the service animal, and she did that. And I mean, you could just see, man, she cares. And there's not, luckily with Star Wars, there's a lot of people that really care and they really give the fans everything.
Mhm.
And that's an important thing. And yeah, just to hear that she lost her confidence, it's kind of like, wow, it's like she's done so much and she's portrayed this character for years. And
Yeah, I mean,
It's-
obviously she was even doing the cartoon.
yeah. So it's like,
Crazy.
if she can lose her confidence, anyone can lose her confidence. And I wanted to ask you guys, it's like, has there ever been
No,
a
I
point
haven't
in
lost
time-
it, David. I always.
I know James is an actor. Craig, you've done a lot of stage work. I don't know if you want to say exactly what you've done.
I was a stripper.
I was
I was a
gonna
stripper
say,
for a
don't you
long
dare
time.
say that.
You guys have done stuff in life where there's a certain
I
level.
don't want to tell you my stage name, but
yeah, there's
I'll tell
a
you off
certain-
air.
So
I'll
guys,
text it to you, David.
has there been any times in your life where you've like lost a little confidence, a lot of confidence is totally gone, or are you guys just ultra confident and you've never gone through that?
Oh, I go through that all the time. I mean, because I'll get auditions. I'll submit myself for a role, and I'll get an audition, and I'll record the tape and submit it to my agent or to myself, and then I don't hear anything, and then I'm just like, all right, cool. And then after like the 5th or 7th or 8th or 12th one, you're just like, all right, I guess nobody likes me, and then you just gotta keep trying. You know what I mean? Like it kind of kills you a little bit, but you just still gotta keep trying. And so yeah. No, but I've lost confidence before, but I just get excited when I get another audition and say, okay, let me try this one now. So
There will always be moments where you're going to lose confidence. I've done stand up for 24 years, right? Now I don't do it professionally like I used to. I used to do it a lot, and it's terrifying. I used to get up in front of 300 people, and I'm like a caged tiger, like walking around, like just constantly ruminating on what material I'm going to say and what I'm going to do. And I'm like, because I'm like a lunatic like that, I'm going to forget it on stage. Right. So yeah, there will be moments of that. And then you get up in that moment and you have to it's weird because if you've ever been on stage, like when you're doing stand up, it's like you're in the moment telling the material, but you're also, your brain is like in two places at one time. You're in the moment telling the joke, but you're also thinking about what you're going to have to say next.
Oof.
It's really interesting. It's kind of a surreal feeling to be, I know what I'm saying, but my brain is also at the same time thinking about where I'm going next and what joke I'm going to say, or the punchline, or whatever it's going to be.
It's kind of like driving a car and talking on the phone, and then you realize, how did I get here? I don't remember driving here. It's that type of thing.
Yeah,
Doing those two things at once.
and it's a very surreal kind of feeling when especially when you're like doing material. Like if you're just doing the crowd work or talking to the audience, that's different. You're kind of in the moment. But when you're thinking about like the jokes, it's kind of like I'm saying something, but I'm thinking about what I'm going to say next. Or what's my next joke? Where am I going?
Right.
And your unconscious is ruminating on all that. So yeah, that's something where you could lose confidence, because it's not an easy skill to do, and have a spotlight in your face and hundreds of people in front of you where you can't see them. You don't know if they're going to like the joke. It's really tough, and I think it's like the toughest art form personally, because if you're a musician, you have your instrument, or you have a band, or even if you're a poet, you still have your book in front of you, right? You're reading from the book. If you're a comedian, all you have is a microphone and a spotlight, and there's a pressure to be funny, right? That's a different kind of pressure, right? If you are singing a song, maybe people know that song and they love it and they sing along with you. But when you're doing a joke, not everybody there is going to like that joke. So it's tough. It's a very surreal thing. So, for me, that's a big area in my life where you will have moments where you're not feeling it, or you could be on the stage and here you're like, oh, I got to do 20 more minutes and these people don't seem to like me very much. You know what I mean? You just got to keep pushing through, and it's not easy.
But I'm really glad she pushed through and gave us a great performance. And it's like, man, I really hope this isn't the end for Katee Sackhoff and Bo-Katan. Like, I really
She'll be fine. She's gonna be back. She's probably gonna be in this movie. Don't you think she's gonna be in Mando and Grogu?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she
I mean, she was at Rebel Scum Con with us a couple weeks ago. Her flight was delayed, so she ended up going to the panel a little late, and I think they pushed back the panel time. And then her autographs for that day, she signed out in the hallway, and there's a huge line, and I could tell she was happy. People were happy. She came in there like jogging and running, and she did like a dance, and she fell on the ground. And I mean, she's awesome.
She's great. And I'm glad she's a part of Star Wars.
She gives 100% every time at these conventions, and it's great to see. And James had a great moment with her back at.
That's my claim to fame is
James had a full-blown conversation with Katee Sackhoff. In case there's new listeners that aren't aware of this, but
it was weird. It was because I turn around and no one else is there. It's just me and her. Ted is up there announcing her. She's still talking to me about the best Mexican food in LA. I'm just because I was like, I'm moving to Hollywood. Are there any good places to eat? And then she started going off about these places, and her and I are just talking. And I look back, I'm like, I'm just here by myself with Katee Sackhoff.
Yeah, we all left.
James, this is really weird
together.
And she was.
James blew it by saying, "So you like Last Jedi?"
Believe it or not, I don't bring that up right away. That's always toward the end of when I know the conversation is about to be over. I bring it up, and then we'll see how that
goes. Would have been like, "So you like Max Rebo?"
What's your opinion about Max Rebo? But it is interesting how the and we're not going to talk about Last Jedi, but anyways, but yeah, Katee Sackhoff is great. Hopefully, I mean, we're going to see her again. She's going to be in the next hopefully she's in the next Star Wars project.
Right?
And
She's got to be in this
Well,
movie.
I mean, one of the telltale signs was the fact that Colin got to interview just about everyone except for Katie Sackhoff and Sam Witwer. We all know Sam Witwer's doing stuff in Star Wars actively, and that kind of hints towards the fact that Katie Sackhoff, Lucasfilm doesn't want her talking much because she probably is in Mando and Grogu, and
She
might
has
be a surprise.
Possibly, or may I submit restraining orders against Colin?
Oh my gosh, dude. Anyways,
He's gonna hop in.
yeah, he's gonna come in really.
He's currently at work. We invited him to be on. He said he's working. He's closing the theater, I believe, tonight.
He knows I'm kidding.
So our next topic was something that got me really excited, but then it was like, oh, but it's still exciting news. We are getting a Rey project, a Rey Skywalker project. And it was one of those things where I thought it was like we were going to finally get some word about the movie coming out, but no, it's actually about a new book that is going to be coming out. And it takes place between, I believe it's The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker, and it goes back to Jakku. And so, David, I know you have the article there because you're on top of everything.
Are we really getting a Rey movie? Do you guys really think we're getting a Rey movie?
They say we are. They haven't said we're not. But then again, they haven't said anything.
When we don't. They just fades off into obscurity.
It might happen because at Celebration, whenever Kathleen Kennedy was talking about the project, she mentioned Taika Waititi's project, and then nothing about the Rey project. So I don't know.
Yeah, so there is an article on Collider.com. It says Star Wars drops a surprise Rey project. Although there have been no concrete updates on Daisy Ridley's new Jedi Order project, Star Wars has decided to move forward with another Rey-focused project without her. A new Audible original titled The Jaws of Jakku has been officially announced on the eve of the 10th anniversary of The Force Awakens, which we've talked about in the podcast. There's been no 10th anniversary The Force Awakens stuff whatsoever until kind of mentioned now.
Yeah, I would say they just finally meant, yeah.
Yeah, the book was written by New York Times bestselling author Kayvon Scott, pictured here with me at San Diego Comic-Con. Yeah, it's a great picture of me. And performed by Helen Sadler. Jake Bartok did the cover art for the novel, which shows Rey braving the sands of Jakku with BB-8. The audiobook will be released on Thursday, October 9th. Star Wars The Jaws of Jakku is set between the events of The Last Jedi, Craig's favorite, and The Rise of Skywalker. It will follow Rey as she struggles under the training of her new Jedi Master, Leia Organa. Spoiler alert. Fans didn't get to see much of Rey's training from Leia outside a few minutes at the beginning of The Rise of Skywalker, so this is welcome news for those looking for more content from the sequel trilogy. Finn will also have a role in The Jaws of Jakku, which will see Rey, Finn, and BB-8 return to the planet and meet a young girl whose family needs saving.
Sounds pretty darn good. I mean, I'm excited for it. I'm going to listen to it. I'm anxious, but it's just a bummer that it's not news about the movie that they are talking about. But sounds like a pretty good project. What do you think, Craig? Are you excited about it? Or are you meh about it?
I really prefer they go to the Mandoverse and stay away from the sequel trilogy characters. So no, I'm not excited about it.
What do you got, David? Are you excited?
Yeah, anything involving I probably sound like a broken record at this point, but Daisy Ridley's awesome too. when I got to talk to her on that red carpet for her Australian zombie film during South by Southwest and kind of meet her for the first time in person, she was very genuine. She was really cool. And like I said before, all these Star Wars actors, like, they're just great with the fans.
Mm-hmm.
And I became a bigger fan of hers. And hopefully she's more involved. I don't care what she does. It could be the audiobook. It could be reading book on tape, whatever. I mean, I'm down for anything that they want to do with Rey. I really wish they would hurry up with this Rey film. They keep on saying it's it's like in this article, it says it's being ironed out with Charmin Obaid-Chinoy, but it's like, why is it taking so long?
I
Let's get
have
some
an answer.
updates. Okay.
I think it's Andor. I think Andor is.
You mean Andor Time to Breathe?
No, I think it's Andor and them saying, well, what if we pivot and then do something like Andor did? Because I heard Simon Kinberg was talking about how Andor has really affected the projects going forward because of that writing and the storytelling of Andor. So
But it's still, to me, screams that they don't understand what they have in Star Wars. Star Wars is like the main umbrella, and then you can have different genres under that umbrella that connect. Everything doesn't have to be Andor. Everything doesn't have to be ultra serious. You can have The Mandalorian. You can have Andor, of course, something ultra serious. There's other things you can, but I mean, it feels like there's so many. I mean, you can be serious, but you can also have like levity, like the original trilogy did. I mean, you can explore and delve deeper into the Clone Wars, and it's like it feels like there's so many projects they can do that will just print money for them, and that the fans want simultaneously, you know. And I don't know. It's like, to me, like we talked about Skeleton Crew earlier. Skeleton Crew is a thing you do when you don't have the possibility for a bounty hunter series or movie. The thing you do when you exhaust the Knights of the Old Republic or the Old Republic, Revan. I mean, there's so many things. Rogue Squadron, I think, would make a lot of money if you just bring that back. And speaking of Rogue Squadron, there's a rumor that is back in development, and it was announced by I don't know what he is exactly. It's Daniel RPK. He's been known for saying things that have come true, so he has some sources. But it flies in the face of Star Wars Starfighter, because you're already kind of getting something akin to what we all thought that Rogue Squadron was going to be. So did they just kind of like pivot there and make that into what Sean Levy's doing?
And
or what?
There's rumors that Matt Smith is going to be in that, right? Rogue Squadron.
Well, I believe no. Rumors that he's going to be like the main antagonist for Starfighter. Yeah, but I think that's all but like confirmed by Lucasfilm. So I think he's coming back. And I think it might be Lucasfilm doing him a solid, because he was supposed to be in Rise of Skywalker, allegedly, and then they cut him entirely out.
I remember getting an article announcement about him being added to the Rise of Skywalker. And then the closer we got to it, it was like, where is he? And then he wasn't even in the movie at all. So
what do you think he was going to be, like a young Palpatine clone or something?
I've heard the young Palpatine clone. I've heard the son, Palpatine's son.
Way more sense than actually being Palpatine. They don't have the same profile at all.
No.
They have also prosthetic nose or something. I mean, I don't
know. I remember they were gonna do the weird spider looking being,
right?
Which he could have possibly been the voice of that character, because that's who, if I'm not mistaken, whenever Kylo Ren at the beginning turns and looks over really quickly off camera, that was supposed to be the cut was to that thing in the middle of the pond, like this weird spider looking creature. But that is no longer in the movie, so we don't know what Matt Smith was going to be, and he probably doesn't even know what role he was going to be. So it's good that he's back. I mean,
he's been asked questions about it on podcasts, and he has politely declined to comment on it. And I'm wondering if Lucasfilm told him not to talk about it, and he's just honoring that. Kind of like one situation.
There was a clip of him recently, and he's like, "Am I? Are you in Star Wars?" Is like, "Am I?" Did you see that? That was like about a week ago.
I can imagine he's just like tired of all the questions already, because he's like, just let me live my life.
And he's like, supposedly I was in Star Wars before, but I wasn't. So,
well, so yeah, we'll see about the future of Star Wars, and unfortunately for all these big corporations, which they are, really not many movie fans running those companies. It's people who know what makes a lot of money, and they're going to do whatever they can to make a lot of money, and they're too scared to take a risk of anything that they don't understand. So for me, it feels like Disney's like, like David always says, there's so many slam dunk projects that Star Wars could do. Some of them that you just announce it and everyone's going to be on board.
A Vader movie.
Yeah. Like, can you imagine that?
Hayden Christensen's back. Ewan McGregor's back. Ahsoka will be in it.
That's all this money. That is so much money right there. But they just don't know what to do. And what's funny is Dave and I talked about it was the prequels, I think, scared everybody in Hollywood. I think everyone had this anticipation for what the prequels were going to be, and they weren't what everyone thought they were going to be. And so I think everyone in Hollywood was like, well, we never want to make that mistake. We never want to do something too outlandish to where the fans are not going to appreciate what we're doing. And it feels like ever since then, all the studios have been trying to stay safe with their projects. And unfortunately, we're kind of suffering for that. Very occasionally will you see that project. And yeah, but every now and then, but most of the time they're too scared to do anything risky. So anyways, who's the tell in the upcoming Maul series? Oh, the Twi'lek. Oh, that's who's the Twi'lek in the new Maul series? The name just
Talon.
Yes. And that one might be a pretty big hit for Lucasfilm.
Yeah, and Talon was going to be in the sequel trilogy if George Lucas was the writer. He had her featured prominently with Darth Maul,
which would have been just insane if that would have actually happened.
Yeah, it's something that we'll never get to see. But
if they do like a what if?
No, we've been saying they should do a what if for like 5 or 6 years. They're never going to do a what if. Like, it's over.
What if they did?
What if?
Never say never, James.
I don't know.
Say never. Look, I mean, the Snyder cut exists, James.
I'm still waiting for the Joel Schumacher Batman Forever cut. Right? That's what I need to see. Is the Joel Schumacher?
Okay, I love that you brought up Joel Schumacher. He has one of the greatest quotes that I use all the time and I think about all the time, and it's via my favorite band of all time, the Smashing Pumpkins. So when they were shooting the video for Batman Forever, Joel Schumacher there was some downtime. He was talking to Billy Corgan from the Smashing Pumpkins, and Billy Corgan did an interview, and he brought up what Joel Schumacher said to him, and he said that he laid this dropping of wisdom on him. And if you listen to Billy Corgan, the way he sounds, his voice, he told him, anatomy is destiny.
Anatomy is destiny?
Anatomy is destiny.
Meaning
anatomy is destiny.
Oh my goodness. I cannot believe
the way you sound, your brain, the way you look, that is destiny. Yeah, that like kind of lays the path for your destiny. If Billy Corgan didn't have the voice he had, he wouldn't be the lead singer of the Smashing Pumpkins. He has a very particular voice.
Hmm.
And that's when he told him anatomy is destiny. If you go back and think about your life, you can see that, like, when I was younger, I played basketball. I was taller, and that made me more susceptible to wanting to play basketball and to practice it, That's what I mean by that. But
since I wasn't athletic, I became very funny. I became very funny and a nerd. That's what happened.
Well, I did too. But anatomy does kind of lay out your destiny.
Well, thank you for joining us on the Schumacher podcast. But yeah, we'll see how this new book goes. Craig will not read it, unfortunately. But Craig, I'll let you know if it's good.
Well, it's on Audible, right?
It's gonna be on Audible, so technically you can just listen to it. But I will listen to it for you, Craig, and let you know if you'll like it or not. he's not gonna like it. But anyways,
Listen, to each their own. If people like that's those great.
what
For
blew me?
me,
Okay,
I just want I want them to steer towards Mandalorian timeline.
the other day I was at Trader Joe's and I wore my Andor shirt. I told this on the podcast the other day. I don't know if you heard it, Craig, but this guy walks up and goes, "I love your shirt." And I was like, "Oh, thanks, man. Did you like the show?" He goes, "I didn't watch it." I was like, "Oh, okay. Then I don't know what we're talking about here." But he only saw the front, which was has the rebellion symbol on it. And I was like, "Oh, it's Andor. It's such a great show." He goes, "No, I don't want to watch that stuff. The Disney stuff, they just killed it, man." I was like, "Oh, okay, you know." And he goes, "But man, Obi-Wan Kenobi, that was a good show." He goes, "That was my favorite show out of all of them, was Kenobi." And I was like, "Wow, okay, I've never really heard anybody say that before." But then I was like, "Oh, okay, cool. There's a Star Wars for everybody, you know." So he loved Obi-Wan Kenobi, and
I
yeah.
mean, there were some great moments. I'll give it that.
Oh yeah, but I mean, anyways, so back to Deadpool. So the Acolyte was listed because it's been over a year from the Acolyte. We actually thought it's been a full year for the Acolyte. Forbes put out an article about it, and in their article they said that the forest fight in the Acolyte was probably one of the top 3 lightsaber fights in all of Star Wars. And people were looking for a list, but no, they just said the fact. They just stated the fact. Man, look at Manny Jacinto's forearm. Like, look at his arms, man. Good grief. Anyways, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see the
Dame,
picture.
settle down, buddy.
I know, right? I know. I've heard. I saw a meme where people were like, "How big do you want to get?" And they just post a picture like Manny Jacinto, like, "I want to look like this." All right, when you go to the gym, like, this is my motivation. But no, yeah, they listed the forest fight in the Acolyte as one of the best lightsaber fights in all of Star Wars. Not gonna lie, it was shockingly like it was a pretty long lightsaber fight. I don't know if you remember. It kind of kept going, and it was violent, and it was surprisingly violent. And I remember just going, "Oh, whoa!" People who I thought were gonna live just died instantly, and I remember that shock. And yeah, what do y'all think about that fight? Because I think that was one of the highlights.
It was a great fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, top 3, no.
Yeah.
Listen, but you know, you got Luke and Vader twice,
Mhm.
and then you know, Anakin or Vader and Obi-Wan in Episode 3. That those are my top 3. I mean, and then you might say Episode 1. And then so maybe top 5. I'm not. But then again, Ahsoka versus Maul was pretty awesome too.
Ahsoka versus Maul was pretty good. What do you think, David? Top 3?
Can I just say though, for me, I like the lightsaber fights more when there's more behind it than just a fight.
Ah, gotcha.
Like when there's meaning to it, to the characters, the father versus the son, the best friend versus his, best friends fighting. You know what I mean? That to me is more than, okay, they're fighting a strange dude who shows up that they don't know who he is, right? Like Darth Maul. You know what I mean? Like to me, it's more powerful when it's something more meaningful with the characters.
Good point, because I consider Luke versus Vader in Empire probably my favorite lightsaber fight.
That's my favorite.
There's so much happening in that fight because, like you said, what's going on around it? Yeah,
not just a fight; it's who's fighting and why are they fighting. One's trying to save his friends, and the other one, has a hidden agenda. Not to kill him.
And it works. It works. Just each set piece of that fight, each progression of that fight, just gets better and better and better as it goes.
Yeah, David. So to me, when there's that element, it makes it much more meaningful for me than like the Last Jedi nonsense where they're all flipping. To me, when they're fighting the Praetorian Guards, it's like, this is the way I see that fight. You have the big boss dying, and then you're fighting the cronies. It's like, how is that exciting? The main guy is dead, and now you have two extremely powerful Jedis or whatever, and they can't take out a bunch of non-force sensitive. Like, what? That's like crazy to me. They should have taken them out in 5 seconds. Luke says that Kylo Ren is the most powerful being he's ever come across. That being higher than the Emperor and Vader, and yet they can't take out a bunch of non-force sensitive guards. Like, that's ridiculous to me.
Well, they did take them out, but I mean, they struggled
That's my point.
more than they probably should have.
Well,
It would have
those
been cool to see Snoke fight Rey and Kylo. That would have been very interesting.
I mean, honestly, I thought we were going to see Rey and Luke versus Snoke and Kylo going into that movie. That's what I thought when we were seeing the teaser trailers and stuff like that. I'm like, I remember, and the rumors that
there were so many rumors. Like, I remember there was a rumor that there was going to be an attack at Luke's on Octu, and Luke was going to fight the
Knights of Ren.
The Knights of Ren, and
I remember that.
And because
they would have been caught filming it and all that other stuff. Yeah,
but it was all a big rumor. It didn't happen.
So I just remembered I was on TikTok, I think, and somebody made a Rise of Skywalker Topher Grace type edit, like what he did with the Phantom Menace, and he added some things. Now, he didn't change. This editor didn't change a bunch, but they added stuff here and there. Like, they gave the Knights of Ren voices.
Nice.
They did the whole thing that everyone wanted to see at the end, where when Rey says, I'm all the Jedi, you see Hayden and Luke, and you see Alec Guinness back there. That would have been so good. That would have made that movie 10 times better.
Or, and hear me out, I know this is going to sound crazy. Anakin, the chosen one, takes him out, or at least gives Rey the ability to do it somehow, thus not taking away him being the chosen one in a way.
But man, you got to remember, Craig, at that point in time, you have Abrams, who did not like the prequels at all, who did probably everything he could not to acknowledge the prequels, and then staying as far away from all of them as he possibly could. You know what I mean? Like, there was no way we were ever going to get that ending. There was no way that was actually going to happen. It just really sucks that they came out then instead of a couple of years later, when Lucasfilm could have been like, oh, wait, people like the prequels? Oh, okay, maybe we should include some of that into this movie. We didn't get any of that. Yeah. Because didn't you say Abrams was mad that someone threw Anakin's flag?
Yeah, his racing flag, that blue and white racing flag that
at Maz Kanata's
was holding at Boonta Eve.
Yeah, he was really mad that an animator put that there, because he was like, I don't want that.
I did not hear that. Where did you hear that?
On the internets. Yeah, it was out there. It's kind of a rumor type thing, but I mean, if your first line in the first movie of the new Star Wars trilogy, this will begin to make things right after you had the prequels. I mean, what else you got to say?
Yeah, that was shocking. But all I know is, when it comes to lightsaber fights, Luke and Vader is number one, and then for me, because it was something that I never dreamed of ever watching, but Yoda versus Dooku in Attack of the Clones was pretty up there. Mind you, there like there's not a lot going on. You know what I mean? Like, there's not a lot at stake. I mean, there is, because they want to stop Dooku from escaping. But man, I never thought I'd ever see that.
I mean, the movie theater went nuts. Everyone was crazy.
Yeah, I went nuts. In New Braunfels, Texas, I was going crazy. I was laughing.
Everyone was like laughing uncontrollably, because we couldn't have even imagined that he was going to fight like that.
I remember like the people going, "Oh," when he shows up, and Dooku like turns around, and everyone sensed it that didn't know, like, we're gonna get something to go down here, and some serious Star Wars stuff was gonna go down. Fantastic movie experience, man.
I remember that you hear the cane.
Yes.
When you see the shadow, I just remember the theater, everybody going, oh, like
Yeah.
everybody started reacting. And my brothers and I were like, is this really going to happen? Are we really about to see this?
Yes.
And oh my gosh. I mean, in game, the portal's opening, that
Yeah.
was crazy. But that in 2002, when Yoda walked in and stood there and pulled out his lightsaber, the crowd went insane. I couldn't even hear what was happening because everybody was screaming.
It was pretty crazy. Yeah.
So that was and then Rob Coleman in the Light and Magic documentary, he said that's one of the greatest moments of his life was hearing the reaction of the crowd. He was like,
yeah, it was
we
pretty
did it.
awesome.
We did it.
I will give it that.
Well, good, Craig. We got your approval on. I'm just joking.
You know what? And I was hesitant to give it to you, but now I think I might take it back.
Oh, okay. I should have just accepted. Like, thank you so much, Craig.
And guys, we cannot forget. I know a lot of people don't like the show, but Anakin in the Vader suit fighting Obi-Wan Kenobi in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. That was a great duel too.
That was a really good duel.
Very emotional.
Well, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Is the best part wasn't. I mean, there when he hits the chest piece and then he cuts the helmet open. It was pretty amazing.
Right.
But the scene after it is what makes it for me.
Oh yeah. Even
right.
McGregor,
That's what I'm saying. Is like that's what I'm saying is like the duels for me are way better when there's that emotional component happening with it, as opposed to just, I mean, it was great. You cut up Darth Maul. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a great duel, but it's far more meaningful. Maybe had Darth Maul had interactions with the characters more or something, where it was like, I really got to get revenge or something. You know what I mean? But we really didn't know who he was.
Yeah, we didn't know who he was till the Clone Wars almost, 10 years later. That's when we finally, even longer than 10 years, like it was almost like 15 years later when he finally showed up in the Clone Wars. We had no idea anything about Maul. Another good fight was Palpatine versus Savage and Maul in Clone Wars.
That was a good
That one was intense. I had no idea it was going to happen. And when it did, I remember just being blown away. And then Maul begging him to stop. You're like, that is insane. And that was another pretty good fight. Yeah.
I like Savage Opress a lot.
Oh yeah, he was great. All right.
Some people didn't seem to really like him.
Really?
Yeah.
Clancy Brown, right?
Yep. The great Clancy Brown.
Yep.
Yeah. But I really liked him.
He's a very entrenched Star Wars actor.
He's played 3 roles in Star Wars already.
Yeah.
Technically, yeah.
Yeah. I love him as the Deveronian, man. That is a pretty cool part. I love that.
Well, I remember I was
how many fights have you named?
I don't know. Are we doing okay? So we got the
Bespin,
Luke and the Bespin fight. Revenge of the Sith, Anakin versus Obi-Wan. Anakin versus Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yoda and Dooku
versus Dooku.
Yeah, that's 5 right there. So it's not in the top 5.
And then even like Ahsoka versus Maul was.
Yeah, that's 6.
But again, the story of Ahsoka is literally about to join him.
Right.
And then she's like, what does Anakin have to do with all this?
Man, do you remember that trailer with Maul saying, I was hoping for Kenobi. Why are you here? And then it cuts to them fighting. I remember people screaming because that was like a great reveal in a trailer. That was like Ahsoka and Maul are going to battle. And it was awesome. And it was a long fight too. And it's one of those fights that you're like, yes, I'm glad it didn't last 2 seconds. I'm glad it went on for a bit. So yeah, that's
another great one. So
now that I think David just proved our point that we didn't really mention the Acolyte in the top,
but it was a great fight.
It was a great fight.
It was shocking. Obviously, he breaks Yord's neck, and the way Jackie gets killed was
that one. My mouth dropped because I was like, oh my gosh!
No one saw it. No one saw it coming.
and it was brutal. It was like he like stabs her 3 times and
like-
she falls dead. You're just like, oh, she's dead.
It was
And
like,
just keep,
yeah. And then he's
Oh.
like, was that its name?
oh. But
Okay,
one
so
thing that-
let
go
me
for it.
ask you guys this. Do you think Plagueis was his master or no?
I think it was his master.
Because
It made it seem like maybe Plagueis was watching him, like Chimera was on his radar, and he was kind of like in the shadows. That's what it kind of felt like to me. It didn't feel like a master apprentice relationship.
yeah, I was hoping he was the master, but I don't think so either. Because the way he was like, I mean, you
Yeah,
only
he
get to
was
see him in
like,
the cave for like a
yeah.
second. But the interviews that I've heard all make me feel like no, he wasn't the master.
Okay.
Like the interviews and stuff like that afterwards.
Yeah, Darth Plagueis, the movie, the show, have Tom Hiddleston play young Palpatine. $1 billion movie right there.
He's getting kind of old there, Tom Hiddleston. I mean, he still looks young, but he's not young anymore. So they better
Yeah.
hurry up if they're
Yeah.
gonna do this. I think he's the same age as Ian McDermott was when Ian McDermott was in Return of the Jedi.
I think he's way older because Ian McDermott was like 33 in Return of the Jedi, right?
I thought he was 39 or 49 when he did Return of the Jedi.
All right, well, we can ask Google.
I remember he had red hair when they did. There's that great outtake of David Prowse picking up Ian McDermott and the wig and the hood falls off, and you're like, man, he had red hair.
All right, James is right. I stand corrected. Ian McDermott was 38 or 39 years old.
Yeah,
That's
so
what it
Tom
says.
Hiddleston's already in his late 40s, early 50s.
Yeah, he's up there now. 44 years old, Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah. So they better hurry up with this Palpatine story that we have in our heads.
You need to give me the reins for Lucasfilm. I'd green light that sucker.
The only show I want to green light, I mean, there's a few, but there's
Only one, James?
No. The one that I would like day one green light is Luke, Han, and Leia post Return of the Jedi cartoon.
Look at Craig.
Yeah. See, Craig knows what's
eyeballs
up.
just bulged out of his head.
I mean, that's what but I mean, they could even do it with like AI or CGI now.
No, I don't want to see no AI doing that stuff. That's scary.
The CGI stuff looks so good in like Book of Boba Fett, though.
The deep fake stuff, James. Let me
Okay, deep fake. I don't want them to just do a whole show with AI. I saw an Iron Giant AI trailer today of like, and it looked legitimately real, and it scared me. So, but anyways, that's what I would.
Okay, that leads me to.
Uh-oh.
With Ahsoka season 2, are we gonna see Luke? Because it would make no sense for me for Thrawn to be back and him not being involved.
I have a feeling we're not going to see Luke until like
the heir to the Empire movie.
Yeah, he's not going to be anywhere in the Ahsoka. Like, I think Lucasfilm is afraid to do that again because one, it probably costs a lot of money to do, and two, it's like the fans are just really wanting it. And after you do it, what's next? Who do you can you bring back Han Solo? Can you bring back Leia? And then it just becomes a whole.
Yes, you have to.
Well, you got to bring them back
in
to
that
this time period.
timeline. They have to be there.
Yeah,
I agree 100%.
And Lando.
Yeah, Lando has to be back. Lando is doing a lot of stuff. Like, that's crazy. I was just joking. But I don't know. It feels like they're scared. It feels like Lucasfilm and Disney are scared to do that, to have them come back into a show. And also, I think it's because
fear is the path to the dark side.
Fear
leads to sequels, and sequel leads to trash.
Could you imagine?
That needs to be on a T-shirt, Craig.
Trash leads to suffering.
The world between worlds, and we finally get a scene between Mark Hamill and Hayden Christensen.
Yes,
I think we have to see that.
Like, that is one of those things that's like,
money.
that is you show that episode in theaters, you charge people
trailer
to watch
right there, bro, and that's
They
it.
could have my wallet. I'll just hand them my wallet.
We have to get this. We have to finally get this moment when Luke Skywalker talks with Anakin Skywalker. Like, it has to happen very, very soon. Because Mark Hamill is not young at all anymore. deep faking him is possible, but it's like they better hurry up, man, because I mean that would blow everyone's mind if that happened.
They just seem to refuse to do it.
They just refuse to make a lot of money. Like it just feels like it. They're
like,
"Oh, this
no,
would make a
we'd
lot of
rather
money."
give you something you don't want to spend your money on.
So I didn't see the show. I know listeners were going late, or
money.
but I saw a video about the creators of Halo, the Halo series, which I didn't watch. I didn't really watch Halo series. I really wasn't into Halo, but they jokingly made a video. Like these guys were like, "Hey, let's make a TV series about Halo." You're right. And you know what we should do? We should do nothing like the video games. We should use every wrong decision you would possibly make to do a show based off of a beloved video game. Apparently that's what they did. And you got to think, you had these people at
They're going to be
Paramount.
like, is Lucasfilm going to sue us for doing the same thing they do?
Exactly. They're like, wait, what if we do the same thing that Star Wars did? But no, it's like you had people at the very top who had to know what Halo was, who looked at this and they're like, oh yeah, go for it. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, just do whatever this is. All I'm saying is at the top of all these companies are people who really don't understand. They just know what money is.
It's like grandma and grandpa.
Yeah.
Well,
they were like,
I think so. Well, greenlight it.
Lilo and Stitch just made almost $1 billion at the box office. Well, we're just going to greenlight the sequel now. And they did. It's already, the sequel's happening to Lilo and Stitch live action. It's like, why? It was a horrible movie. It was not a good movie at all, but it made all that money. So they're going to go, oh, we're going to just focus everything on that.
Were you a big fan of the original Lilo and Stitch?
I enjoyed it.
Okay, so I never saw the original.
Me neither.
So I only saw that movie with my daughter at the theater, and I thought it was good.
Mm-hmm.
But I never seen the original. Everybody that's seen the original is like, that was terrible. But I think if you didn't see the original, a lot of people liked it. It was heartfelt.
Yeah. I mean, it made over $1 billion, right?
So if you didn't watch the original trilogy or the prequel, the sequels are not that bad, is what you're saying.
Yeah, because you don't know who Luke Skywalker is and why his backstory is butchered.
Exactly. But I will say, and a lot of people I met, a lot of people I talked to about Lilo and Stitch, it was bad. But anyways, it's just shocking that that's what makes the money. If it makes the money, that's what they're going to pour all the resources into. You can have the greatest Star Wars idea, and they'll be like, but we don't know who these people are, and no, we're just going to do this. And then you go, oh, okay, well, thanks.
You know, did you guys see that post I made about, I think it was Screen Thrill? I'll try and bring up the picture right now, but it's a shocking thing that they put out. It said something along the lines of Lucasfilm is in search of Gen Z creators with Gen Z ideas to attract Gen Z dollars, essentially. And it's like, what?
Fake?
I don't know. Screen Thrill put out, and that they seem pretty professional most of the time.
What is happening?
Yeah, if that's true, that's kind of wild.
Gen Z, man. Let's not. I think we should end on that note because I can go off. Gen Z, man. Oh my goodness.
I had a picture of it. I thought
so. Lucasfilm has obviously learned nothing in the last few years.
No. They've learned absolutely nothing. So we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, what I've heard is there's a lot of people pitching ideas to Lucasfilm, and it's got to go through Kathleen Kennedy. Kathleen Kennedy has to give the final okay. And
is Kathleen on her way out? What do you think?
Oh no, man.
It's been rumored for a while. Like, didn't she say she was leaving at the end of the year?
The big rumor is that Filoni and Carrie Beck are going to be co-CEOs and or co-presidents, and Kathleen Kennedy is gonna be like their mentor, something along those lines.
All I know is she fought really hard for Andor to be what it was and to be as good as it was. So it's like if only they would just let her.
Let her cook.
Because I really don't think it's her. I mean, look at her track record before all of this, and look at it now. The only thing that changed was who was in charge of everything. She's in charge of Lucasfilm. 100%. But Lucasfilm is still owned by somebody else.
But it's ultra or what's the word? Inconsistent. It's ultra inconsistent because we got The Force Awakens, which was pretty good. Then The Last Jedi just ripped the fandom apart. Then The Rise of Skywalker, people consider that the worst Star Wars movie now. But then we got The Mandalorian, and that was Kathleen Kennedy's approved thing. Favreau wanted to do the Boba Fett series. She said no. We got Mangold doing that, which never happened. And then apparently the story is Kathleen Kennedy didn't see the dailies for Solo until 2 weeks left in principal photography. And she's like, oh my God, this is not what we want. But I mean, have Lord and Miller ever done us wrong? I don't think so. Have they ever done anything bad? This would have been their first bad project. I don't know. So once they got fired from that, they went to go do the Spider-Verse, which was great. I mean, there's a lot of cooks in that kitchen, but they had a hand in it. I mean, there's so many weird things that have like transpired, and
so many weird things have happened with both Feige and with her, and it's like
no, I totally disagree there, James.
Well, what do you mean? Feige was about to.
Nothing has happened weird with Feige. I don't think you know the stories behind Feige and what's happened at Marvel.
Are we gonna talk about that now, or should we?
We can. I mean, Feige's done. He's made all the right moves. It's the people above him that have circumvented what he's been wanting to do. After Endgame, they said that we need quantity. Pump it out. Can you pump it out? And he's like, I guess I don't want to do that, but if you want me to try and do that, Feige's very hands-on, and he can only be at so many places at once. And it wasn't his idea to pump out all that quantity.
Well, I heard
now they're like thinking about, oh yeah, you were right. We should have just listened to you and put out like 1 movies.
It was horrible. It was all horrible. I had heard he had they had greenlit Blade. It was about to begin production, and then he read the script, and then he said, "Oh no!"
Yeah,
and then that's when they stopped.
He's doing so many different things, and I mean, he spread way too thin. And then they announced in 2019 he's going to do a Star Wars thing, but then we find out later on that was just kind of a bunch of just lip service.
Just telling us something to shut us up.
Yeah.
They were instructed, you need to give us something, which was fantastic at the time. We're like Taika and Rangers of the New Republic, which might come back because Gina Carano,
that weird logo, Star Wars.
Back. Yeah, that weird like Land of the Lost logo.
That was so strange.
And it's like, okay, great. It's a new story, new characters. That's what Rian Johnson should have only been doing the whole time, where he has no connection. So it's impossible for fans to be mad, and it didn't quite happen that way. And then Rian Johnson got a trilogy, and then he did Knives Out, and then it would have been impossible for him to do a trilogy because he opened a production company and he was doing Knives Out, and he has to concentrate on that, and that's his baby. Netflix gave him like $100 million, and it's like, how are you gonna do Star Wars and this? I know for a fact that Peter Jackson spent day and night on the Lord of the Rings, and he didn't even have to do the creation of the story like Rian Johnson was going to have to do with all brand new characters, environments, everything. And I saw what happened with Peter Jackson with that movie. It nearly killed him. And it was a great masterpiece. But, I mean, it's a lot of work, man. It's like you don't sleep. You're going to multitask every single thing you do for like years? No, I don't think so. So, I mean, it's almost been like a beta test or something for Disney working with Star Wars in a way. They're seeing what sticks and what doesn't.
Yeah, which is really weird to do with Star Wars. You don't want to do that with Star Wars. You don't want to be like, oh, this doesn't work. Let's try this. Oh, this doesn't
Monday
work.
Morning Quarterback. Yeah, you don't want to do what they did.
Yeah. Well, on that
if you listen to us, let's print some money.
Listen, Disney, I have money. I want to give it to you. Help me help you. Give me Luke Skywalker. For the love of God.
Well, you have his head up there behind you, so that's
well, that's because they didn't give me Luke Skywalker, so I had to get one.
Well, on that wonderful note, was there anything else, David? Or
Geez, there
By the
it
way,
is.
that thing looks awesome. Have you ever seen how good it looks?
please don't get
Have
it.
you ever
Please.
seen my collection behind me? It looks awesome. Have you
I
ever
just have
seen it?
just the heads of Luke Skywalker just all
You see
lined
that
up.
face hugger?
Would you
It's
feel
awesome.
better if I put it on a mannequin?
That would be
Mannequins
I
you
would
get, Craig.
like if
Huh?
you popped up ready to podcast with that thing standing behind you, I would be like, you are not getting on. We are not turning on his camera. That would scare everybody.
Oh, it would be amazing.
But it would be actually pretty amazing if you did that. But anything else, David?
Yeah, I'll
that-
say this. Let me see how to phrase this.
Oh boy.
Like Andor, we have friends everywhere, and I talked to 2 friends tonight, and it just made me feel the love all over again, like at Rebel Scum Con. Not friends that have been on this podcast, but I have friends on the outside, and I spoke to them tonight, and I was kind of looking for some advice, and they said, yeah, definitely let's get in touch this week. So I want to give a shout out to them if they ever see this podcast. Thank you.
Could you be more cryptic, David? Is there any way?
Yeah, he could be
Well,
more cryptic.
We might all find out really soon.
Yeah,
what
we're
I'm
gonna find
talking
out
about.
soon.
And Craig, I'll just tell you when the podcast is over, because you didn't answer your phone today, and I called you.
Oh, sorry, I have 2 children. Do you know how hard it is to
I know.
talk on the
I'm
phone?
just kind of.
You know, the second you answer the phone, they go crazy. So that's probably why.
Yeah.
But when you texted me tonight, here I am.
That's
Yeah,
true.
I know.
He is
Here I am. It's 1:20 in the morning. Here I
Oh
am.
my gosh.
Where's Colin? Sleeping like a baby.
At home watching his Wookiee costume.
I'm just kidding, Colin.
He's at home.
But here I am.
Watching his tights.
Sites, as if he washes them.
James got that reference. All right.
You're welcome.
On that note, thank you everyone that stayed up with us. Looks like there's maybe 11 people watching on all platforms right now.
They fell asleep 3 hours ago.
It's 12:20 a.m. in Central Time. Yeah, it's 1:20 for Craig in the Eastern Time Zone, and for James, it's like 5 o'clock or something.
It's 10:20 for me.
All right, so yeah, for James, Craig 5, Darth Vader, my name's David, and may the Force be with you all.
Always. I was not
This
going to
is
do
just
it.
an awkward long goodbye. Okay.
We're trying to get some fireworks here. Oh, there they go. Okay, cool.